Levan Saginashvili has become the final boss of arm wrestling, unbeaten for years now. But what if I told you the Georgian Hulk wasn't always invincible? In this video, we're digging into Levan's career up until the exact moment he transformed into the monster we know today. So, if you want to understand the rise of his modern dominance in arm wrestling and take a look at his losses, this is the video for you. Levan Saginashvili began arm wrestling around age 20, weighing only around 80 kilograms at this point, although as a young Georgian kid he already showed promise for sports by being an avid football player. In the early years of his arm wrestling career, perhaps to the surprise of many, he had mixed success. For example, at the 2012 Georgian Nationals, his first big tournament, he finished in second place in both left and right hand divisions. This is of course a tremendously successful result for his first real challenging high-level tournament. He repeated as a runner-up on the left and got a third place on the right at the 2013 Georgian Nationals in the subsequent year, and decided to make his World Championship debut in the same year and finished outside the medals, accruing a 4th place finish on the left and a 9th place finish on the right. Levan would later describe this tournament as a wake-up call. It's clear the young Georgian was extremely motivated to do well at arm wrestling at this point and was seeking to make some serious changes to his training as well as his overall physique. In 2013, Saginashvili won the World Police and Fireman Games in Belfast, an accolade that also apparently made him unofficially a policeman in Georgia. Saginashvili's transformation from a lean newcomer to the Georgian Hulk was a dramatic one. Over the next decade, he nearly doubled his body weight, reaching about 180 kilograms in more recent years. 2014 can be described as perhaps the first major turning point in Levan's career. He won the Georgian Nationals for the first time and looked primed to do well at the Europeans and Worlds that year. At the 2014 WAF Worlds in Vilnius, Levan took his first real world title on both the left and right arm. His international success was immediate, although not without slight hiccups, evidenced by having just been runner-up at the 2014 Euro Arm, losing to the Azerbaijani Vitaly Laletin, an experienced puller in his own right. This pivotal year showed that Levan was one of the world's best already and was making steady and quick progress. The next years were marked with few losses, especially in a supermatch format, but also in a tournament setting. At the World Championships, he would consistently take second place on the right arm, usually only losing to his fellow countryman, Genadi Kvikvinia. Maybe by this time, with Genadi being his training partner, the Georgian had clearly figured something out about Levan's style.
Genadi Kvikvinia, who is the world champion.
In 2017, Levan won a gold medal on the left hand in the super heavyweight category, but noticeably took several losses on the right hand, ending up 5th place that year. Despite his losses to Genadi, the rivalry with his countryman and training partner wasn't always quite as one-sided, with Levan getting wins over Genadi too early on in his career. During this time frame at the Europeans, he also took several losses, not only losing on the left arm versus Georgi Tsvetkov, but also on the right arm against the already much lighter veteran Krasimir Kostadinov. By the end of 2017, Levan made a solemn vow to never again lose a match, or at least that's how the legend goes. I couldn't find any direct quote from the man himself. That being said, this was a promise he has surprisingly been able to keep up until the making of this very video. Since 2018, Saginashvili has steamrolled the plus 110 kg class, won every major world title on both hands, and remained unbeaten in super matches. However, in 2023, Levan was forced to concede several rounds to Hermes Gasparini due to extreme exhaustion, although he did still end up winning the match in the end. This was Levan's first match where he conceded any round whatsoever, ending a long shutout run in his career. So what exactly led to Levan's extreme dominance? As evidenced by this video, his rise to the top wasn't quite as explosive and one-sided as a lot of people currently believe. It's true, from early on there were clear signs of his potential and strength, but to say Levan just took the undisputed #1 spot easily would be a massive discredit to the actual time and effort that went into his training and career. The perhaps slightly more banal truth is that Levan had to climb the ranks just like everyone else, and had to gradually improve his actual arm wrestling technique. His seeming lack of regard for his own safety must also have played some role in his rather drastic turning points. Levan is willing to change the chemical composition of his own body and put a huge amount of stress on it through rapid weight gain. This in turn allowed him to capitalize even more on his strength and his frame potential. It's also undeniable that during his undefeated streak, Levan has been careful in choosing his matches, often only having one super match per year. Having the opportunity to peak for one specific opponent without any distractions would, at least in theory, lead to Levan showing up in top condition almost every single match. A lot of his opponents, however, don't quite have that luxury, as some of them need to prove themselves several times over in order to get a match with the Georgian Hulk. Whether or not Levan remains undefeated for much longer remains to be seen. I, for one, am looking forward to his second super match with Hermes Gasparini. If you've enjoyed this video, check out my other video on the Georgian Hulk or my mini-series on Jombers Inc. Thanks to all the loyal Armians and Fingerfolk for the continued support. Arm Historian, out.